Hello, great people. The Nigerian Police Force Lagos State Command has arrested one of Nigeria's most feared and dreaded criminals in Lagos. On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, I will be taking you on a journey into the world of criminality and the arrest of one Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Eso. Wasiu Akinwande is a 44-year-old criminal, and according to Nigerian police, he is one of the most feared and dreaded criminals in Lagos. I would be reading to you the crime that he has committed. I will be taking you through the journey of his various atrocities, including how he was arrested in 2016 and how he was left off the hook. Then I will also be reading to you the large cache of arms that was recovered from Wasiu in his Mushin residence. Then we'll be dissecting the associated issues. Is there any political connection behind Wasiu's operation, because the Nigerian police claim that he is an assassin? Is there any political connection? What are the things that we can point out, and what is the lesson therein? We'll be doing all this and more on this episode with Joshua Plug, Dr. Omosholadeji. First, let me confirm to you that according to the Nigerian police, Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Eso, is one of Nigeria's most feared and wanted criminal. His major area of operation is Lagos State, and he also operates interstate, that is between Lagos and Ogun State and other neighboring states in Nigeria. So he has been a criminal as far as the police know since 2009. That means that Wasiu has been committing various atrocities in Nigeria since 2009. Now, this is 2025, and he has been in the act of criminality since 2009. He was arrested in 2016, and I'll be giving you details of that in a moment. But for you to know how notorious Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Eso, is, the Nigerian police had to set up a covert operation for his arrest, and the covert operation was tagged Silence, Speed, and Surprise. You would recall that before the security agencies can set up a covert operation, that means that that particular situation is getting beyond control, and that particular situation is getting serious. We often hear that when there is like an insurgency in a place, like the evolution of Boko Haram, banditry, the military will set up covert operation. But now the Nigerian police is setting up a covert operation to arrest Wasiu Akinwande. That shows that he operates a large and well-established criminal network. Now, how were they able to arrest Wasiu Akinwande? Before I read out his crime to you, and before I talk about his 2016 arrest and how he was left off the hook, and also the weapons recovered from him, let me first tell you how he was arrested. Wasiu Akinwande was arrested at his hideout in Agbado area of Ogun State on June 28th. The police has been on his trail for so long, and they were able to successfully arrest him at his hideout. So that means that he comes to Lagos to perpetrate different forms of criminality, including armed robbery, kidnapping, and other social vices. Then he will go into his hideout in Agbado area of Ogun State, and that is where the Nigerian police arrested him. Now, let me read to you the crime leveled against Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Eso, by the Nigerian police force. Now, according to the Nigerian police, Wasiu Akinwande is believed to be behind a decade-long wave of violent crimes in Lagos, including murder, armed robberies, kidnapping, and court-related killings, especially in the Mushin area of Lagos and its environment. I told you that Wasiu Akinwande also sometimes operates interstate, so he is believed to be a murderer, an armed robber, a kidnapper, and somebody that kills for different cult groups. So you may want to imagine that perhaps you've heard of kidnapping in Lagos and its environment, you've heard of different murder cases, you've heard of some armed robbery cases. Perhaps it is Wasiu Akinwande and his gang that are behind it. And that brings us to the establishment of Wasiu Akinwande, because he has been in this since 2009. He was arrested in 2016. This is not his first arrest. He was arrested in 2016. And that 2016 arrest, according to the Nigerian police, it reads that Akinwande was previously apprehended in 2016 by the Lagos State Criminal Investigation Department, SCIID, in connection with, listen attentively to this, multiple gang-related killings. Now, look at that word, multiple gang. Then killings, that means that it is not the killing of one person, but multiple, a number of people. So multiple gang-related killings, and for you to see how notorious that this Wasiu Akinwande is, I will read something that will shock you in a moment. Which says at the time he was linked to the death of a 29-year-old trader. Now, if that is not shocking, this one will shock you. A 9-year-old girl, I repeat, a 9-year-old girl. You may want to think that, well, when criminals operate, they usually spare the young ones. But this one even went as far as being responsible for the killing of a 9-year-old girl and others, with sources tying him to violent NURTW clashes dating back to 2009. So that means that they are saying that this Wasiu Akinwande was also involved in NURTW clashes dated back to 2009. And I will put something on the screen for you where somebody was calling him out for the killing of another person and saying that, well, you have killed so person, the police are on your trail, and no matter how long it takes, you will be apprehended. So this Wasiu Akinwande is a well-known established criminal in Lagos that people know him that, yes, this is a thoroughbred criminal. Now, what are the weapons that were recovered from Wasiu Akinwande when he was arrested in the Agbado area of Ogun State? And kudos to the Nigerian police, because this would have involved a kind of like synergy between the Ogun State Police Command and Lagos State Police Command. Because you cannot go into the territory of another state without informing the state command. So kudos to the Nigerian police force for their inter-command collaboration. Now, what is the weapon that were recovered from Wasiu Akinwande according to the Nigerian police force? It reads, according to the statement of the police, a raid on his house in Mushin led to the recovery of a cache of weapons and incriminating items which the suspect admitted, underline that word, admitted, were used in his gang's operation. Underline it again, in his gang's operation. That means that he operates a criminal gang network. The items recovered, this will shock you, including 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 K2 assault rifle, 1 Red Rider rifle, 3 pump action rifles, 2 5 magazines, 57 live cartridges, 70 rounds of 5.56 mm live ammunition, 27 rounds of 9 mm ammunition, 1 expended 5.56 round, 1 dagger, 3 walkie-talkies, criminal wey dey use walkie-talkie, imagine that, 3 walkie-talkies, and 9 international passports belonging to different individuals. 9 international passport belonging to different individuals. Imagine 3 walkie-talkies. So is it that a criminal is now using walkie-talkie in Nigeria? And I'll come back to the issue of that international passport, because I have some points to give to you in that regard. Now, let us dissect some of these issues. I haven't read the crime to you, its history, and some of the weapons that were recovered from him. The big question is, what is the source of all these weapons? Where did Wasiu Akinwande get all these weapons? Is there an arms market in Nigeria? And what is the deep-rootedness of the operations of the arms market? Are some of these weapons, we can't rule that out, are they from politicians in Nigeria? That's one thing that we need to look into. So the arrest of Wasiu Akinwande, popularly called Olori Eso, leaves a gap for so many questions that need to be answered if Nigerians and Lagosians can sleep and operate in peace. And let us look at something. Who has he assassinated? Because they say that he is an assassin. Who has he assassinated? It would be great if the Nigerian police could check their records. If they can check how many assassination cases have been reported in Lagos State, then they should painstakingly begin to investigate those cases and begin to see whether they are victims of Wasiu Akinwande. Already, the family of 4 persons have already come forward, according to Nigerian police, that Wasiu Akinwande is responsible for the killing of their loved ones. So 4 families are already on his case right now, but then it goes beyond that. So it would be good if the Nigerian police can check their record and painstakingly do a thorough investigation as regards the assassination that have been conducted in Lagos State and also the kidnappings as well. And the Nigerian police, it would be great if they can unearth his political network, which is very important. I don't believe that Wasiu Akinwande do not have one political godfather somewhere or something, because if you are an established assassin, there's no way in Nigeria that you won't allegedly have been involved in one political cases or the other. You know the kind of politics, do or die politics that we play. So an assignment for the Nigerian police is also to unearth his political network. Did he kill Funsho Williams, or was it his network that killed Funsho Williams? Wasiu Akinwande have been in the criminal gang since 2009. Is he the one, or his network, or his boss? Because definitely he would have learned from some people, and maybe he has a boss that has trained him in the past, or some other criminal networks. This arrest of Wasiu Akinwande can lead to the establishment of those that killed Funsho Williams. That is, if the Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, Bola Ahmed Tinubu happens to be the Lagos state governor at the time, now that he's the president of Nigeria, that is, if his government is truly interested in unearthing those that killed Funsho Williams, the prospective candidate of the People's Democratic Party at that time, and somebody that had been positioned to become the governor of Lagos state, but he was executed. Now, 4 families have come forward for have come forward to identify Wasiu Akinwande as the one behind the killing of their loved one, which is courageous. We need to commend those families. Now, the police should not try and broaden the investigation and arrest all suspects. Now, where did he get all those arms from? They need to broaden the investigation. It is a thorough investigation that will unearth all these things. Now, to Wasiu Akinwande himself, I think sincerely it is foolish, the most foolish act, to keep the passport of people in this modern day and time. Maybe those people are your victims, and you have, kind of like perpetrate 1 or 2 crime against them, and you went ahead to keep their passport. I think Wasiu Akinwande must be an illiterate, because definitely we know that if you take another person's passport in this modern age and time of biometric verification, you just want to weaken that person. And you should know that, as they say, one day for the every day for the thief, one day for the owner. So you keeping the passport of your victim is you digging your grave the more when the police apprehend you, because you need to identify those people, and they will now be conducting investigation. So it is should I say that the God that those people serve that made Wasiu Akinwande to keep their passport, because this will deepen the investigation of the Nigerian police. Ordinarily, the passport is not useful to him, and for him to keep them, that means that maybe the God of those people, of his victims, are not sleeping. And lastly, I just hope Wasiu Akinwande will not be released, because this is not the first time that there will be a major arrest, and at the end of the day, you just said that the person has been freed. I hope the Nigerian politicians, the political stakeholders, and also the interested parties will leave the police to do their job for the safety of life and properties in Nigeria and Lagos State. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past video. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.